No one knew darkness like I did. I didn't look for light. I hunted fear. I listened to screams like others listened to music. I was raised in chaos. My father's fists were louder than his words. My cousin Mike, a Vietnam vet, showed me how to hold a gun and what it does to a skull. One night, he pulled the trigger on his wife right in front of me. I didn't scream. I didn't run. Something inside me opened and never closed again. Before the headlines, before the name Night Stalker, I was just a boy wandering through graveyards, high and hollow. I felt at home among the dead. The first time I tasted control, I was still a teenager. Violence didn't scare me. It called to me. April 10th, 1984, San Francisco. She was 9, alone. I lured her away. The basement swallowed her, and I walked out as if nothing had happened. June 28th, 1984, Jenny Vinco, 79. Window, bedroom, silence. Repeated strikes. She never saw me coming, and I didn't feel a thing. March 17, 1985, Maria Hernandez and Dale Okazaki. Maria saw the gun, ran, survived. Dale didn't. One shot, lights out. Same night, I found Cy Leon Yu in her car. One pull of the trigger, red on the dashboard. March 27, the Zazaras. Vincent fell first. Maxine tried to fight. I didn't just kill, I left a message, one the devil would understand. May 14th, the Doys. I ended him, she watched, and then I reminded her what fear tastes like. May 29th, Bell and Lang. Electric cords, hammers, symbols drawn in blood. They wouldn't forget me, even if they survived. July 2nd, Whitney Bennett, 16. The tire iron, blow after blow. But she lived. That stayed with me. July 5th, Joyce Nelson. No weapon this time, just my hands and my rage. July 7th, Sophie Dickman. She begged. I didn't care, but I let her live. Not out of mercy, out of boredom. July 20, 2 homes, 2 scenes of horror. The first, machetes and screams. The second, fear passed from parent to child. The whole family left scared. August 6th, the Petersons. 2 more, but they made it. I was slipping. August 8th, the Abawaths. He never woke up. She did. The baby cried. I didn't stop. August 18, Bill Carnes and Inez Erickson. 3 shots into him. He lived. She lived too, and she told the world what she saw. Then the streets turned against me. Late August, East LA. They baited me. Left windows open, cops waiting inside. But I didn't use doors. It came from beneath, the sewer. I surfaced in a quiet home. 2 elderly sisters. One died in her sleep. The other begged. I left her throat open. They watched the front. I walked out the back. August 31st. Daylight betrayed me. A face on the paper. Eyes on the streets. They chased me, beat me, held me till the police arrived. I was done. Courtroom, circus. They wanted remorse. I gave them silence. They asked why. I smiled. Death row held me for 23 years. But in the end, it wasn't the state that killed me. It was cancer. Even in prison, letters kept coming. Some people fear monsters. Others fall in love with them. They still whisper my name online, try to explain what I was, but they don't get it. I wasn't made in the dark. I was the dark. Good night and sweet dreams, if you're capable of having them. See you in the shadows. My name is Richard Ramirez, and the night belonged to me. This happened to me last year, and to this day, I can't stop thinking about it. Every time it comes to mind, I get this sick, heavy feeling in my stomach, like something's pulling me down. My grandparents were heading out on a 6-hour drive to another city for a business meeting, and I decided to tag along. I've always enjoyed long road trips, and while they were busy, I planned to check out the malls and do some shopping. They'd already booked an Airbnb in advance. It was in this tall, high-rise building, modern-looking, but strange. The moment we arrived, I noticed that the place looked completely empty. Not a single light on in any of the other units. It was like we were the only people staying there. The woman who greeted us was odd. She was overly friendly, but in a weird, forced way, like someone pretending to act normal, but overdoing it. She wouldn't stop talking, mostly about how the place was for sale and whether we were interested in buying it. I remember feeling uncomfortable, wondering why she wouldn't just leave. From the second I stepped into the apartment, I got a bad vibe. Really bad. The place itself was clean and modern, with huge windows and a balcony that overlooked the city. It should have felt luxurious, but something about it was just off. I tried to shake it off, told myself I was probably just tired from the drive. That first night passed without anything strange. I fell asleep quickly, but the next day is when everything changed. I woke up feeling off, completely drained. I felt nauseous, dizzy, and disoriented, like I hadn't slept at all. My grandparents had already left early for their appointments, so I was alone in the apartment. I wandered around aimlessly, feeling exhausted but too restless to relax. Eventually, I went back into the bedroom and laid down again. The next thing I knew, I was waking up. I had no idea I'd even fallen asleep. It was already close to noon. I felt worse this time. Sluggish, dazed. My grandma texted to ask if I wanted to meet her at the mall, but I could barely move. I stayed in my pajamas, grabbed a pack of biscuits because I was too tired to make real food, and then, without even realizing, I passed out again. And that's when things got disturbing. The third time I woke up, I heard voices, my grandparents' voices, right outside my bedroom door. I remember thinking, oh, they're back already? But something felt wrong. The tone of their voices wasn't normal. I couldn't explain it, but something about the way they were talking made my skin crawl. They were talking about me, saying things like they were going to call the police because I was out of my mind. But their voices, they didn't sound quite like them. It was like someone trying to imitate them, off by just a little. Slightly distorted, emotionless, and worst of all, it sounded like they were trying not to laugh. Like they were mocking me. I was wide awake, fully alert. Something deep in my gut told me this wasn't a dream. I sat there frozen, listening. My grandmother said something like, "I'm going in to get her," and that's when a wave of panic hit me. I rushed to the door, yanked it open, ready to confront whatever was there. But the hallway was empty, silent. I checked the entire apartment. No one was there. My grandparents were still out. I locked myself back in the bedroom and didn't move until they came home hours later. At first, I didn't tell them what happened. I thought maybe I'd hallucinated because of how sick I felt. But when we got back home, my grandma told me something that stopped me cold. She said she'd had the worst sleep paralysis she'd ever experienced while we were there. She said it felt like people were climbing all over her in bed during the night. A few days later, we found out something even darker. A man had stayed in that exact Airbnb just weeks before us. He had shot and killed someone in a fit of rage, then disappeared. The next day, he took his own life. Whatever was still in that apartment, it didn't want us there. And whatever it was, I think it fed on me.